Alright. Is this annoying for you guys? Am I purses here? No, right? Okay. So, we're getting to know our soul. We're getting to know our soul. Book Getting to Know Your Soul. Das Nafshecha, part 2. So you asked a very good question, because it's not part of your nefesh, what we're discussing right now. It's your tunos nefesh. It's the personality of the life source. So we were saying how the nefesh has five layers, right? It's really the neshama, the spiritual body, the engine, your spirituality, whatever is in you that's keeping you alive. That thing is split up into 5. The bottom level is called nefesh. The one on top of that is called ruach. The one on top of that is called neshama. On top of that is chaya, and on top of that is yechida. Okay? Now, most people in this world are functioning on the first level of the nefesh, called nefesh habehemit. The nefesh habehemit, the animalistic part of the nefesh, is responsible for all the stuff that you need in order to survive. Food, water, sleep, procreation, all the things that a person needs in order to keep this alive. That's the life force for that. He draws that from his nefesh habehemit. So the nefesh, the bottom layer of this whole spiritual component, gets split up into 2. Nefesh habehemit and the nefesh elokit. The nefesh elokit is the part of you that is like striving for more, wants to be fulfilled, wants to love, wants connection, has dreams, goals, loves to help. That's the part of your nefesh. That's the nefesh elokit. It's the godly part. So you have an animalistic part and you have a godly part. So the bottom layer, the bottom tier of your spiritual body. Okay? Now, when a person is, let's say, for example, down, or they have no energy and they just feel like so lethargic and they feel sad, right, and they can't move, what's going on over there? On an energetic level, what's going on there is that if I would feed this person the same food as this person can have no energy and this person can have a ton of energy. It has nothing to do with food. It has nothing to do with like, oh, did you eat? That's why you don't have energy. It's a different kind of energy. When we don't have energy, for example, motivation, inspiration, passion, when we don't have that turned on, it's because our life force is lacking. Now, where you draw your life force from, it depends. It depends on how much work you do. So most people draw their life force from the bottom layer of their nefesh, called the nefesh habehemit, where they draw their life force from food, they draw their life force from compliments, they draw their life force from money, they drive their life force from looking good and getting approval. That's where they draw their energy from, their life force. It gives them energy. Now it could be, it's like getting your water from a toilet bowl. Getting your cup of water. You're still drinking a cup of water, but it's just the quality of it could be so much better if you were going to take it from a spring. The quality of it could be so much more natural and so much better if you draw your life force from your actions, from your thoughts, from your words. Our words are so powerful entities, beings. They're so energetically just packed that if we're able to say good words, give words, compliments, love, smiles, if we're able to teach Torah, learn Torah, say good things, not lashon hara, not vomit coming out of our mouths, but like real good things, what that does to us on an energetic level is that all of a sudden we have more energy. Because why? Because we're drawing our energy, our life force, how I feel inside, the amount of life that I have in me. Some people are like not alive in their life. They're like not alive. You don't hear them. They're very like, they're not, almost like there's no life in there. Why? Because they're drawing their life force from very, 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 very low fuel things. Very, very lacking, very weak energy systems. They're not drawing their energy from the big stuff. What's the big stuff? Okay, so now that's what the Torah teaches us. The Torah, in essence, is teaching us how to just like short circuit this whole thing called life and get to the real deal meat and potatoes. You pray. Why is it such a taiva not to pray? Why is it such a like, I don't feel like praying, it's such a hard work, or I'm boring, whatever. Why is it such a thing? Because it's such a massive source of energy, of life force. Prayer is a massive source of life force. Why? Because you are a soul in a body. You have a body, but your personality, your character, your dreams, your hopes, all your stuff is your character, it's your personality, it's your neshama. It's your when a person leaves their body in this world, they still feel the same, they still know their name, they still have the same urges, they are them. It's not like that person died. That person died from this reality that we see with this body in order to exist here. But they still exist. That person still exists in a different realm. Right? Because that person is really not a body. It's not that I'm my stomach or my spleen or my veins or my tendons or my tissues or my plasma. I'm not any of that stuff. I am a neshama. What you see in front of you is a soul. What I see in front of me are souls. And it says that, I told you this last time, I think, that your body takes the shape of your soul. Like we're going to be able to recognize each other in the next world because your body, the only reason my body looks like this is because my soul looks like this. Body takes the shape of the neshama. So the body's just technically just a vehicle in this world to be able to get the neshama to do what it needs to do in this world. Now the neshama gets its life force the most from where? From the higher rung things. So we said like prayer, right? Shabbos is a big one because the neshama gets another neshama. The neshama gets another neshama, an extra neshama on Shabbos, which means all the extra stuff. There's no such thing as extra in spirituality. Right? Because there's no such thing as quality or weight or length or volume, or there's no such thing. But it means that it's energetically, it's much, much more potent. That's why when Shabbos comes in, you feel Shabbos coming in, you feel the essence, you feel the difference. You feel it, right? And then if you're sensitive to it, once you become sensitive to it, then you start feeling it. Because again, you're climbing the rungs. Then there's chesed, then there's tzedakah, then there's being dalek of zechus, thinking about someone that harmed you in a positive kind of way and making up excuses for their behavior when you know that they harmed you. The higher you climb on the rungs of where you get your life force, that's where you're going to draw your life force from. I'd like to give this example. Our friend Chaya Sarah, right? The girl, like Baruch Hashem, I know her like for a majority of my life. I've never heard Lashon Hara from the lady's mouth. And I've never... And negativity or not being helpful or not davening. It's like, Baruch Hashem, not many neshamos get to have that kind of life force. But the reason that I know that the reason that she has that kind of life force is because of all the things that all her mantras, all her actions, all her thoughts, all her being mechazik herself, all her prayers, meaning she's drawing life force, energy from very high sources. And you see it. Literally, if we go to her house, me and my kids, and they love my kids, they absolutely love my kids, and they're like, we're like family. But if my kids start bickering, or they start being negative, it's never gonna work out, or whatever. Literally, I see it in her eyes. Like she doesn't do anything, but I see it in her eyes. It's like she doesn't understand negativity. Why? Because she's bubble wrapped herself so much, with I've gone to we've been to camp together, we've been Shabbatons together, she came to my house a million times. We're very good friends for many, many years. Every night before she goes to sleep, there's a mantra, there's a talk, there's a speech, there's a motivational video, there's a song, there's not when you want to go to sleep. When she wakes up, she does all her thank yous. She's working. Some people are working. They wake up in the morning to go for a run. We are our number one priority. This neshama has to do something in this world. And that's why I was sent here. I have to do something with my life. That's why I'm sent here. I have a mission. I have to go. I don't have the luxury to just be and if when I do get down and when I do get stuck, you gotta know, like we said last time a few classes ago, you gotta know how to fail. You fail, you get stuck, it hurts, you give your feelings space, you allow them, you talk to them, you see them, you understand them, you need to go speak to a therapist, you need to go speak to a friend, you need to go speak to a teacher, you do what you need to do, and then you rise up. And then you move on. You don't stay down, you don't stay stuck, you don't stay in that vibration for a very, very long time. You don't, because vibrations pull people down, vibrations pull people up. Who you're around says a lot about your soul. Because the vibrations that you're vibing with are vibrations that you're also emanating. So if we have to look around us at the people in our life and say, are they driven? Are they happy? Are they kind? Are they focused on the right things? Are they growth oriented? Because otherwise, if they're stuck, if they're in a rut, if they're negative, if they're, sitting around all day, if they have endless hours, if they're not doing anything with their life, it's going to take your vibration down. Now, if you do it once or twice to help them out, to be there for a friend, that's not, but to sit in that kind of environment a lot, it will definitely affect your vibration. And the opposite is true also. Take a friend that's amazing, that's on fire, that's lit up, that's working on herself, that has the right thoughts, that does the mantras, that davens, even though it's hard for her, you'll see how it's going to rub off on you. Your hashkafa is going to change. Your way of looking at life will change. So it all has to do with our energy levels. Energy levels, we get them from our actions, our thoughts, and our words.
Question.
Yes.
Let's say you're doing all these things, like, to get your energy from high sources.
Yeah.
Energy sources, but you're not getting energy from it.
Like, for example, what?
Like davening or all these things.
You're not getting energy.
Things, but you're not getting energy from it.
What do you mean when you say the energy? When you refer to energy, what do you feel when you just say I'm not getting it?
You don't feel extra like spiritual or connected or extra like what you should be getting and able to get yourself back up and always like what you just said.
Yeah, it's first of all with, let's say for example, just take prayer or Shabbos or any of these things, right? It's all a matter of build up. It's always a matter of time and time and time and time and time and time again, and then you discover that there are fruits there for you, and then you discover that you planted and planted and planted and planted and planted and planted and planted, and all of a sudden there's a moon on your heart. All of a sudden there's more of a focus in your mind. All of a sudden you understand things more. You have more of a direction in your life. You make better choices.
Why? What changes? I feel like once you're doing something over and over, then you end up going to like a pattern.
What do you mean? Meaning, if you, the idea of tefillah. So the idea of tefillah is to always to bring your heart back into it. It's to know what the words are saying. That's amazing. Okay, but to be talking to God, that's what we're talking about. Talking about talking to God every day, not having a day go by without you opening your mouth and talking to God. And if it's in Shemona Esrei and you're Shema Koleinu and you're over there and asking, you say whatever you want. You say exactly what you feel. You say exactly what's going on for you. You say, and if it's not in Shemona Esrei and it's in His Bododus and you just talk to Hashem from your own words, you every day open your mouth and talk to God, because without talking to Hashem, without asking for what you want, and without saying what's going on in your life, and without just having that kind of thing going on, you cannot get where you want to go. You can't. Period. Meaning Hashem gives it to us when we ask for it. But we need to ask for it. The asking is the key and the lock. Okay? The asking is the key and the lock, and then you're able to open the door. You can't open the door without going through these spiritual actions. But with tefillah, it's not like every time you walk away, you're like a changed person. But on some level inside, you are. Because you're building a spiritual fort on the inside. And over time, you will feel yourself changing, becoming more sensitive to certain things, feeling more deeply when it comes to prayer. Not every single time you daven. I have a friend that she davens Shachos Mincha Ma'ariv every day. Shachos Mincha Ma'ariv. And I always had this weird conversation with her about, I always felt like it's weird that she does that, because her whole, her Shachos takes maybe, exaggeration, maybe 15 minutes. Her Mincha takes 4.5 minutes, and her Ma'ariv maybe 7 minutes, right? And I'm always why are you into the quantity of things? Why are you not into the quality of things? And she says to me, I'm not a davener. I'm not a person that my heart opens in tefillah, but I'm not going to give up on tefillah. She davens Shachris, Mincha, Ma'ariv. She says Tehillim. She says Parshas Aman. She says all these things every single day. She has a whole list of things that she says, but she says it and she gets through it and she does the mitzvah. And then, if she wants to, and oftentimes she does this, she goes for a walk, she talks to Hashem from her own words, in her bed, in her whatever, she makes time for His Bododus. But she's not a davener. So a lot of times people give up on davening because they're I don't connect. Even if you don't connect, don't give up on the act of davening. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Because on some level inside, it's building something very, very...
Even if it's just doing it that you did it...
Because you know why? Because when something is going to be going on for you, and when you're going to need Hashem, you're going to open that siddur differently. But if you don't usually open the siddur, then you won't even know to open the siddur. It won't take you there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hear?
Yeah.
There are times, there's kufos in prayer. There's times that like it's your heart's more open. Times your heart's totally shut. You don't feel anything, right? You're not crying and you're not. But in terms of consistency, keep doing it because that's where we draw our life force from. Okay, have you ever volunteered and gone to the hospital and given out like stuff to old people or to kids, sick people, whatever? How do you walk out feeling? You feel good about yourself. So when you do that over and over in different formats, in different ways, that's what gives you your energy. Not just energy like, have energy. But when we do things that are empty over and over and over and over and over and over again, we get the hit of the dopamine. Like, for example, kids get really excited that they're about to watch a movie. And so they're like really excited. And then they watch this movie. And afterwards they become depleted. Because they just received. They didn't really give anything. So the clue to all of this life force thing is that the more you give of yourself, not just to other people, but for yourself, for your growth, for your change, for your involvement, even though it's hard, the more we give of ourselves, the more we are able to push ourselves out of bed and get up and go for a run in the morning, or go for a prayer in the morning, or go to volunteer, or whatever it is, the more I'm able to do that. It's a sacrifice on my end. I'm sacrificing sleep. I'm sacrificing energy. I'm sacrificing that I end up getting more energy from that. But when I just take... For example, I get entertained. I take pleasure. I go and he meeting with him or his text messages or going to that club or going to that party or eating or entertainment or a cruise or whatever it is. It's taking pleasure. It's depleting for the soul. It's depleting for the soul. The biggest givers in the world are the happiest people in the world. When they give for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. Not people pleasing, but really givers. See these people that I'm part of groups in Ramat Beit Shemesh. It's crazy people that just take on themselves bar mitzvahs, weddings. They cook for them, they bake for them, they go dance by them, they set up by them. They don't know these people. They don't know the people. They take care of their entire simcha. People that can't afford it. So how do they do it? How do these people do it? Because they live on this stuff, and that's where they get their energy from. They don't need to sleep almost. Dafka sleeping is very healthy, and sleeping is very important. But specifically, what's the number one sign of depression? Oversleeping. Why? Because what is depression?
Hopeless.
What?
Hopeless.
There's like this hopeless, helpless feeling, emptiness.
Sort of when the brain goes to sleep.
It's like the life force, the person's life force went away, right? It's like this monotonous vibe constantly. They can't get themselves back. They can't get themselves awake. They can't get themselves alive. It's like this deadness. What contributes to deadness and to depression?
When the neshama is not being taken care of.
Your neshama not being taken care of. What do you mean?
You're not doing anything that's feeding it. You're not taking care of that part that needs taken care of.
Exactly. So that's because your energy levels and your spice for life comes from your soul, comes from your personality, comes from your essence. And if it's deadened, if it's like I have nothing to do with my life, I'm just gonna like whatever, and I scroll all day, or I eat all day, or I look for small pleasures all day, or I smoke all day, or sometimes in the day, or I sleep a lot, then that creates a cycle of deadness, because you're not that stuff that the small the small dopamine hits they're not full of energy. Like smoking doesn't give a person energy, but it's the dopamine hit in the brain, the things that they're excited for it, right? So that stuff doesn't fill the person and leaves them emptier. Or with food or with anything exciting or pleasurable, it leaves us emptier. So a lot of these things, like you see people that are depressed and their family members try to cheer them up. So they buy them things and they take them to Disneyland or whatever it is. It won't do the trick. The person themselves has to do. The person has to do. The person has to get more active. The person has to get more giving. Take them to Aroma. In Beit Shemesh, they closed down Aroma and they turned it into a factory for sandwiches for soldiers. People's lining up to make sandwiches. My friend's kid who's this little depressed kid. Sadly, he's depressed, doesn't want to do anything, doesn't talk, doesn't always on his phone. He's a little kid. She said, you don't understand what happened to him. I took him to Aroma. He started packing sandwiches. She's like, the guy did not want to leave. We were there from 11 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night. He was packing sandwiches. I've never seen him, Devorah, I've never seen him so awake, alive, happy, excited. Why? Why? Based on what we're learning right now, why?
He was giving over himself. His personality, his essence was coming out.
He was giving. What happens when he's giving?
He was taking care of the neshama.
Energetically, what's getting full at the same time?
His energy, his life source.
Exactly, his life source. He's pulling life. He's pulling because that's real. That's a real energetic move right there. To pack sandwiches and to feed people, right? What is he doing? He's giving. He's giving. He's giving. When you're on that end of things, energetically, you're getting poured back onto you, filling your own cup like crazy. That's why when you walk out of the hospital from volunteering, you feel amazing, feel so good. What'd you do? You made coffee, you gave a sandwich. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you did. This act, really what in essence is doing is the opposite, is the reverse. You want to give to yourself? Stop taking, start giving. You want to feel full? You want to get out of depression? You want to feel more alive? You want your energy levels back? You want to be more motivated, more excited for life, more passionate about life? Do this act. Go out, help. Go out, give. Go out, do something. Because what happens when we're in that place, energetically, on that vibe, we want to take. We want to scroll all day. We want to watch something that's fun. We want to hang out with someone that's going to give us attention. We want to eat something. We want to take. We want to wake up that sense. We want to feel alive. We want pleasure. We want something that's going to give me life. And the opposite happens. It's like the more I do this, the more I go like this. Taking my energy. Throwing out my energy. Olam hafuch raiti. An upside down world I saw. Because in this world, what's glorified is how much you've amassed. But in the real world, what's glorified is how much you gave away. Because the more you give away, the more you are. The more you amass, the less you are. Which one of those things takes space? The more you take space, the less you need. The more your stuff takes space, the less you are. The more you take space, meaning the more alive you are, the less you need, the less stuff you need. You don't need so much because you have so much. The more stuff you have, the less you are. I need so many things in order to make me feel okay and just to get through the day. I need so many things. The more I need in order to live, the less I am, really, in essence. And in order to create the I am, in order to build up the I am, I have to learn what the formula for that is. And the formula for that is coming out of comfort zones, self-sacrificing for things that are outside of myself. And it doesn't have to be, like, you don't have to be a martyr. But notice, open your eyes. Someone I can cross the street. There are kids here all the time from the Beis Yaakov. Can I cross someone in the street? Can I help someone carry a bag for a block? Can I look out for those things? Because that's your refuah hanefesh. That is literally the healing powers formula for well-being and wellness and mental health. 100%. You follow me?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Capiche?
Yeah.
Good question.
Well, I was going to answer your question.
That was the answer, yeah. What's coming up for you guys? Anything coming up for you? Coming up for you because of this understanding. You remember, like 2 weeks ago, we spoke about Napoleon, how that guy, he was like, Napoleon went to that guy and he didn't have anything. That's the thing, because he was so much of himself, he didn't need more than a cup and a shirt. He didn't need it. Napoleon was so nothing in himself that he needed to conquer the entire world, and he still was unhappy. And he still wanted to meet the person that has more than him. That's why it also says that when you get rid of stuff that you don't need, you're making space energetically and spiritually for new things. So if there's like stuff you don't wear, bottles you don't use, I don't know, stuff that you have that you don't need, maybe I'll wear it. Like if you haven't worn it in the last 6 months, give it away. Give it away. Because every single thing that you own takes up space in your nefesh. Everything. Anything that I own, my car, my clothes, my house, anything that I don't own my house, but
Hashem doesn't want us to own three things. Like saying it's not like we're not all here to just like be like that guy in your life.
100%. 100%. But understand the difference in hashkafa. There are some people, like there's a lady here, she was my aim bias. Her name is Esti, wow, I forgot her last name. It's going to come to me. A big tzaddikas. Big tzaddikas. And she, when I was in seminary, she had like this like most stunning house. Okay? Stunning house. She's very well known. I forgot her name. I forgot her last name. She's very well known. She lives here. And all the time, she used to make these, like, all the Neve Varts, all the girls that were getting engaged in Neve, all the Varts were in her house. She would make, and I used to go there and help volunteer to make these things, these simchas in her house. Now, Baruch Hashem, her husband made a lot of money, and they had this stunning house, gorgeous, like 3-4 floors or something, like beautiful, stunning house. Like, you would want to go there for Shabbos. And every time, every day, she made a simcha, basically. Al-Chaim, not only in her house. And once we went with her to the old city, she was schlepping duffel bags with centerpieces and flowers and bouquets and salads and cookies. And don't ask what we were doing over there. It was crazy. That's what she does. She volunteers. That's what she makes Bali Tshuva simchas. That's what she does, out of her own pocket, out of her own thing. But the way she has it set up in her house, like it's basically like it's like machines. It's like you don't get connected to the salad that you're making. You know, like she makes these like gorgeous salad, but next. Everyone, this one's making brownies, this one's making cookies. She has all these people volunteering, all these Neve girls, seminary girls. Her house is like a factory. Right? But she has a big, beautiful house, and they have all these things. She's not attached. It's not her definition of who she is, because she has that chandelier, because she drives that Tesla, because she has this shaitel. It's not herself. She doesn't define her because she's wearing this gorgeous, big diamond ring. You understand the difference? And then some people, these things are everything to them. Everything to them. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it becomes their definition of themselves. Their looks, their bodies, their status in their, whatever, amongst their friends, their jobs. It becomes their self-definition. And that,
The person still enjoy these things without letting it define them.
she enjoys all these things, but she's not attached to them. She's not that. If her husband wanted to downsize, she would downsize happily. She enjoys it, but doesn't like, what defines her is when she sees someone that needs help. She's all over it. She can't help it. Her husband told her, he said to her, I remember this, I'll never forget this, he said to her, I want you to buy a car. I want to get you a car for your birthday. And she was like, really? Oh my gosh, I love that idea. She took his credit card and she went to buy herself a car. You know what she came back with? A 15-seater van. She's like this little skinny lady with this like blonde shaitel, driving this like massive truck. She's like, this has been my dream my whole life. Now we can drive everyone at the same time. And I can pick this one up and they go to the Nates. She leaves here for Nates from Harnof to the Kotel every morning. She picks people up in Rochavia. All the ladies go, Like, that's what she and this lady's energy behind her is out of this world.
Then if it's your whole life, like, what are you trying to fill up with? Like, why is that a person's whole life? Should that be a person's whole life?
If it can be, and if it's your personality, then it should be. It could be if it's your personality. If it's not your personality, definitely make time in your life to find places to be the giver, and make it a priority. Because again, that's where it's the most selfish thing you can do. It's the most selfish thing you can do. Girls, what time is it?
12 will be fine.
What time do we have till?
1?
1?
What time is that? I don't know.
1 or 1:15?
What did you say?
12:15, I think.
You can go to 1.
Go to 1:15.
Okay, so we're gonna go into the elements. Okay, we're gonna start with the elements. We are on. Oh, so the elements. Oh, that's what you were asking. Okay, sorry. Okay, the elements are not. They're not the nefesh itself. The elements are the characteristics of your life force inside. What's your life force like? What is it? Who is it? It's the getting to know that part of you and to notice how that comes out a lot. Like I noticed about myself that I used to like very much. It's funny that I changed so much because when I was like getting married and in shidduch and whatever, I really liked all my friends and the guys that I was dating. Everyone was like very humble, very kind, very soft, very like good people, like good like. Okay, that's what I like. I was attracted to. I was attracted to those kind of people. Like, just like, how can I describe it? It's like, Like not people that talk lashon hara, not people that reserved,
Like when they don't speak so much, but when they speak,
like calmer energy, like that. And I love that because I was like this when I was much younger, and now I'm noticing from all my friends and from the people that I'm around, I'm noticing that the people that I love being around more at this point is people that are on fire about their life. Or passionate about something. I don't even care if it's like saving the whales. I don't care what they're passionate, as long as they're like alive. Because most people today are kind of like, I'm not blaming anyone. Life is not easy for anyone. Everyone's carrying a big bundle. But the people that I'm attracted, and it's funny how you change. So I was thinking about it on the way here today that I always had this element of fire. I always had this element of air. I always had this element, but you change, and when you change, your elements change. Your elements change as you go through life. You change. So
You have one that like is it like natural thing? It changes to life.
as you change, it changes. Yeah, you change in life. You will change so much. You change like crazy.
So the elements aren't natural?
What do you mean, not natural?
Like, you don't just have elements that you are and they're just going to break that forever.
You have certain core personality traits that are like you. I'm not a different Devorah than I was 20 years ago, but I am. In terms of what? In terms of my decisions, the things that I've done since then. All these things contributed to how I see life today and how I approach life today. I think differently, very differently about life than I used to when I was 18, 20. Very. Right? But the core parts of me, my core personalities, my core stuff, that's what we're focusing on right now. We're finding those things. Later, we're going to get more nuanced. Okay. Fine. Let's begin. So where are we? I think we did. Okay. I want to go straight to the elements. Let's go straight to the elements. Page bet, yeah. Bet in the middle. Arbat ha'yesodot keshorshei hamidot. Okay. It says the four elements are the roots of the midos. Rabbi Chaim Vital b'sifro. Rav Chaim Vital is whose student? Who was Rav Chaim Vital's main student? He was his main student? Arizal. Arizal's main student was Rav Chaim Vital. So he says in his sefer, which was a Kabbalistic sefer, of course, Sha'arei Kedusha.
You said that they're the roots of what?
They're the roots of the midos of a person. Okay? It's the personality, the midos. Sha'arei Kedusha, that's his book. He says, Mechaleket teva midot ha'adam la'arba chalakim. He splits up our nature into four categories. He says these four categories are connected. How do you say connected in English?
Light
Compared to? No, not connected. Connected is like this. It's like it's like on the same level. He says that these four categories that the nefesh is split into, he says, are esh, ruach, mayim, ve'afar. Fire, water, wind, and earth. And all the negative midos, all the negative characteristics that we have, are born from these elements.
Or the negative?
Let's continue. Fire breeds into the person gaiva and anger, haughtiness and anger. Okay, the ruach, the air, peace in our nefesh, breeds into a person, what comes out of a person because of the ruach is talking, lots of chatter, negativity, lashon hara. Okay, that's the negative part of the ruach. Hamayim mo'orerim et ha'ta'ava l'tanugot. The element of water is the part in the negative. What comes negatively from the water is taiva for pleasures of the world. Taiva, having a taiva for things. Water. Va'afar hu hashorish la'aforiyut va'atzlut ha'adam. And the earth is what's responsible for our laziness, our getting stuck, our not moving, our lack of